I've got my work cut out for me because now that we've got it cleaned up, I have to frame 2 walls to create a storage space because we've decided that using this whole garage space for a gym is kind of a waste of space when we need storage as well. So the gym is actually going to be in the shape of an L, and then we're gonna have approximately about a 10 by 10 foot storage area where the main panel is. And that'll give us a lot of storage considering we have most of our stuff now in the other garage and we're still working on paring things down. So next up, walls. Okay, it is time to frame a wall. Tool belt time, tool belt time. It's a little chilly today. So my goal for today, because the electricians are coming in a couple days, is to get most of the framing done so that when the electricians get here, they can run their wires wherever they need to. So let's get started. For my bottom plate, I have pressure treated, so exterior lumber. You just feel like because there is a little bit of moisture in this garage, it's better to have lumber that's already pre-treated for the outdoors, for moisture. And for a second layer of protection, I'm also going to put a sill gasket between the lumber and the concrete and then fasten it down so that the lumber isn't sitting directly on the porous, moist concrete. So that's the first step. I also might cut this back a little bit so that I have a longer piece heading into this post. Oh, you can see the moisture underneath this. Maybe let's just cut it back too. 2. Always nice to start a new job with a nice sharp pencil. Okay, shall we? Let's do 3 feet. It's also nice to start a job with a nice, fresh battery. Here we go. Oh, geez. Just a disaster around here. Let's put you there. Okay. So, I already marked my line, and essentially, this beam is giving me where my wall is, and it kind of takes the guessing out of it because I set my laser up to this beam. Oh, it's cold. And the reason why I cut this back is because to have a little short piece with a couple Tapcons in it is just, I don't really love it. So instead, I wonder if I can run that right over that 42 3/4. Okay, something like that. And then what I want to do is set up my laser to see where I want the wall to run back the other way. What does that make this room? "12 feet, essentially. So 12 feet from the cinder block, 1/2 inch finish if I finish the wall. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're very close. Okay, 148. full foot room. Okay, and that's why I love the laser, because you can set up the laser and its crosshairs are a 90-degree corner. You can see where your wall lines up that away and that away. No thinking, the laser is accurate and it shoots a line everywhere you need it to go. So I can see on the beam where my top plate is going to end. And I can see where my wall is going to continue out this way. Makes things very easy. So what I can do now is cut the rest of my bottom plates because I want to get the hardest part done first, and that is fastening down all of my bottom plates with Tapcons into the concrete. If you don't know what Tapcons are, they are specifically made to be able to fasten down into concrete. 16 inches. 16. Okay. 16 inches. And again, I can see exactly where to place it. And then, you'll probably see it better if I close this garage door. Oh yeah. Can you see that? Oh yeah. And now I can figure out my bottom plate running this way. I think I want to leave, what do I want to leave? At least a 30-inch opening, probably more, maybe 36. So that's really not that far that way, but I don't think you want anything less than 36, especially if you're carrying. Where's one of those bins? Yeah, 36. One bin with your hands on either side. I'm just gonna leave that there to remind myself. So you don't wanna make it too tight. And I'm not putting a door on this space for now. I just don't think it needs it because this whole space will be heated, insulated. Okay, so from there, 73. What are you? Oh, nice. Now that I have that in place, just in case I kick my laser, I am going to mark with my very sharp, soon not to be sharp, pencil where that's going. Now I can start to fasten down my bottom plate. This is my sill gasket. It's not fancy. It's basically just like foam. Creates a separation between the wood and the concrete. Yep. Oh, come on, staple. Why would you put a huge staple in this? That seems silly. Don't need a lot of staples because once it's flipped over, it's not going anywhere. Sill gasket applied. I guess really, I don't need to anymore. Just make sure that I've got this. Okay. Goodbye. Flip you over. I like to do a little mini cleanup between every stage. Keep things organized. Now onto the loud, kind of dusty part. This is where having the right tools is awesome. So this is a Tapcon. You can tell because they're blue. So these are long enough. This is a 3¼ inch Tapcon to go through 1.5 inches of the bottom plate and have a lot of the Tapcon going into the concrete. Half and half, essentially. You can use a normal drill with a 5/16 bit. No, this is a 3/16. Let me check that that's right. Yes. But I have a super drill. Maybe that's what SDS stands for. A super drill system. So this SDS is awesome because this drill bit is going to cut through the concrete like butter. One, dump her down, make sure she's on your line, and away you go. Nice. You can feel when the Tapcon grabs too. If you're ever worried about getting the right bit size, it's all on the Tapcon container when you buy them. Okay, 2 more to go. One of the things that I have been debating, and I actually have to get a material order in soon because I'm done with the wall and now we're gonna have to run some new electrical, but then we're into insulating, is what kind of insulation to use. I have been mulling this over because, well, honestly, because of cost, because there are a lot of upgrades that we're doing to this garage, but it is a detached garage and it is not technically a fully finished living space. We will have a little heater installed to take the edge off when it's midwinter, but we don't get harsh winter climates out here on the West Coast, usually. I do want to insulate though, and my debate is whether I go fiberglass or mineral wool. If it was just a fiberglass versus mineral wool and they were exactly the same price or within a certain range, mineral wool is most likely always the answer. Mineral wool is great for fireproofing and for sound. We don't care about fireproofing or sound out here, really. Fiberglass essentially, I believe, has almost the exact same R value as the mineral wool. So you're not losing insulation value there. What I'm wondering is, would you spend almost 3.5 times more on the mineral wool, or would you go with the fiberglass option? I actually ran the numbers and did a full takeoff of how much insulation we would need. I forget whether this was with tax or without, but for mineral wool, it would be $3,143.18. For fiberglass, the total would be $920.52. That is a cost difference of $2,222.66. That's a big difference. Almost 3.5 times more. Is it worth it? I don't know if I'm sold enough that fiberglass wouldn't be a good option for this garage that I'm willing to spend $2,222.66 more in this specific space. In our home, that might be a different story, but this is just still a detached garage. And maybe if you're thinking about longevity, maybe there's something I'm not considering when I'm thinking about fiberglass. It's not going to be the most fun to install, but I also believe the fiberglass has gotten better over the years and it's not as bad to install as fiberglass was in the past. But I might be wrong about that too, but saving a couple $1,000s on the product is probably worth being a little itchy for a day or two. So here's the thing, we're getting a new garage door, we've bought framing, new electrical. There's a lot of cost to this garage. I'm just not fully sold on the idea that it's worth the couple $1,000s extra to use mineral wool, but maybe I'm wrong. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about this. So comment below and let me know what you think we should do. Spend our money for us. The debate begins. And that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and the little bell so that you're notified every time a new episode comes out. I hope you have a great week and I can't wait to hear your opinions on insulation. See you next time. Let your